And I was standing on the edge of love, babe, with you in my arms. Well, you whispered.
Hi there. Here I am again, the Elena Laster Show, Power of Women. But this time we have a very special show. I have such a wonderful person here. I've never heard of him before. I'm missed on that. I have to apologize to him. But it's Mr. Paul Goodnight. He's one of the well-known African-American artists here. He lives in Boston, and he came from New London. But you know what? He went to New London, went to Boston, and didn't get to Springfield. I thought I was going to ride him on this here. But listen, everybody, please welcome him. I'm just so honored, and it's such a pleasure to have him. Mr. Paul Goodnight, here you are. So tell me, what brings you to Springfield?
Well, I think Rosemary Woods brings me to Springfield. You know, she had asked me to show a couple of times, and I hadn't had the work all together. With her persistence, you know how she is.
I know how she is. Well, she gets her mind set on something.
And she kept on going with me and, you know, just turning that screw. I said, well, it's tight enough. I'm ready for you.
Good, good.
So she brings me to Springfield, but she brings a lot of art to Springfield.
Yes, she does. She has a passion for art.
Yeah,
yes.
She really does.
So as I first came in, I saw a couple of pieces on the right-hand side, and I think the theme was, what was it?
From application
from imagination to application, and that's in the beginning part. So at some point in time when we're finished talking, we're going to walk around and you're going to take me from A to Z, how you bring what's in your mind and what you feel alive.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I think that's what's important, because we were talking before on how do you do your art, what makes your art come alive, and where is the thought.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You can start wherever you want to.
I'll start with the theme, from imagination to application. I think your imagination is always moving. Your imagination is always stirring something. You image something. It just comes from the word image or imaging. And that, you know, when you sleep, your imagination runs wild because you're not seeing anything, you're just dreaming. Right. That's all part of your imagination. Now, to capitalize it or to put it in a funnel, you have to have some tool. So application is a process. For me, it's drawing over and over again. It's a skill set. The word skill simply means applied knowledge, the application of what you know.
Right. But now, were you born not born an artist, were born with this talent, or did you go to school and you got creative? How did you get to where you are now?
I always loved drawing, but I came up with six other brothers. And there's no way in the world that you can be an artist and get any respect. You have to play football or basketball or something. I used to box, so you know that was my funnel. But I always loved to do artwork. And I think sometimes I would get in trouble on purpose, so I would be sent to my room.
Go to your room.
And I can draw. I would bring my pencil, I would bring my pad. And I'd be drawing, and they go, Paul, are you in there? So you can't come in, I'm on punishment.
That was your punishment and pleasure, right? You know, that's funny you talk about that, because we have a character, Betty Laws Fights Back, and I cannot draw. I do the stick figure for the artist, and I said, you know, I got one leg here, one arm here, and I said, can you try to make sense out of what I'm trying to show her to do? But once he gets that thought, like you said, he begins to feel her, then he just brings her alive.
It's a process. If you don't have a foundation, it's almost impossible to use your imagination the way you feel it should go.
Right.
So what I teach is fundamentals. I teach, you know, the square, the circle, triangle. It really comes up from geometrics. And I show them how the geometrics really works in drawing.
Right, okay.
Because anybody can understand the square, the circle, the triangle. And if you can do that, if you can write your name, then that becomes your character, because it never is that. You remember when you were in grade school, you had those little lines there?
Those big yeah.
And then you would write that A and
which
that
is a
B.
lost art.
Yes.
And I always say that it should come back in the schools.
Exactly.
Because that penmanship and then looping those words, it was excellent. And I love writing now. I hate to print. And these kids, going off the subject, they do more printing than they do writing.
Yes.
And writing is so beautiful.
And not only that, but writing is your own character.
I hadn't looked at it like that, but that's
basically,
true.
when you, because that A never looks like the A that you learned in grade school.
That's right.
That B or whatever it is.
Right.
So you formulate your own character, and that's the same thing with my own art. You formulate your own style.
Right.
Based on a foundation. You know, the square, the circle, the triangle. And that's simple geometry is how I teach figure drawing.
So now you do pastel, and then you do the black and white.
I do the black and white, yes.
Well, charcoal. Do you do charcoal?
I use,
Is that-
I use charcoal dust. I do a lot of drawing, graphite drawings. And I try to keep it transparent. Some of the works might look transparent because it's layered.
Okay.
One on top of the other, you can see there. So it looks like you can actually see through the person or see through the
Like a
images.
translucent thing. Oh, okay. Okay.
And so this is my own style. This is something that I wanted to develop. You give me enough time to develop something, I'll try and do my best.
Well, I might have to put Betty Laws on you here. You do
Okay,
something for her. So tell me, when did you go to school in the area?
I
Did you
went
go
to
to
the Mass
school?
College of Art for my master's, and for my bachelor's, and then I went to Mass College of Art for my master's. But I really learned in Brazil, and in Africa, in Russia,
Really?
and places like that. And because I think I went to Russia to really learn what's going on. And I was surprised that they had a school called Patrice Lumumba School. It's a black school.
That's cool, yeah.
In Russia, and I had no idea. But you looked at some of the old masters, and I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. Plus, I had John Biggers, who was a real master. Who was a real master, who was my guiding spiritual force. And I had Paul Healy, who was my skill-laden force.
Oh, my.
So, I think Paul. I said, I've been studying under you for 6 years. And he goes, you're one hell of a slow learner.
Oh, that was a dig. So now, I think also you teach school, don't you? You're in the university?
I teach at Mass College of Art, and I teach at the Museum of Fine Arts.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's so. What I have to do, we always have to sneak a commercial in, and on the commercial, I'd like to be able to show some of your pieces. So listen, everybody, it's the Elena Laster Show, Power of Women, Saturday nights, 6 to 6:30. I'll be back in a few minutes. Stay with me.
We need to increase our expectations of our young people.
Time to listen to all of what you have to say. I vote for you, and you can't give me the courtesy on a return.
Settle down, baby, and treat ourselves right. Yeah, don't you know I'm standing on the edge of love, and I'm just
Hi, I'm back again. That didn't take too long, did it? You know, we have to get those little quick commercials in. So I have with me today a very, very special person, and it's an honor to me to have met him, and I hope our friendship can continue on, and I'll get him back here to do a second show, because there's just, it's such an enormity to everything what this gentleman does that